What's going on, guys? I'm Aaron. Welcome back to TBSQ YouTube channel. I appreciate you guys stopping by here. Real quick before we get started, if you are new around here, please hit that subscribe button, hit the bell notification so you know when we're posting new videos. Also smash the like button on this video. That's important too. Leave a comment, do whatever. I don't care. Just hit that subscribe button, hit that like, and hit that bell notification. Anyways, I'm excited for today's cook for you guys. We are going to be doing a challenge video, taste test, pros and cons of two different grills. We're gonna do a comparison between the Weber Kettle and the Traeger Ranger, which gets a lot hotter than your typical Traegers. And that's why we're gonna go with that. I think it's gonna be a much better comparison to actual grilling style grills. With that said, we got the same piece of meat. We got a 2-pack of some pork chops. Something that, you know, pork chop has some flavor, but not a whole lot. I didn't want to do like a steak or ribeye that has a whole lot of fat and a whole lot of flavor. I really want to get that comparison of which one's going to provide the most flavor out of grilling. And again, we're going to talk about things that why you would cook on one over the other. This isn't a bash video or anything like that. It's going to be a true comparison. Stay tuned. Again, we're going to switch over to that GoPro. We're going to do that first person cooking. But let me show you the two grills that we're going to be doing as long as my lens doesn't fog up when we go outside, because it is extremely, extremely humid out there and it's about to storm. So hopefully we can get this done for you guys. See you in just a minute. Starting off, this is the Traeger Ranger. This is the little semi-portable, and I say semi because it is extremely heavy grill. It's like 60-something pounds. That's because all the mechanics because of all of the interior components of the grill that makes it heavy. But this little thing gets piping hot. I do love this thing. I love my Traegers. I have a couple of them. And then over here we have the classic Weber Kettle. Everybody knows what this is, your classic backyard grill. You could probably find these in, I would dare to say, 80 to 90% of the grills, 80 to 90% of the backyards in America, if not other countries. But yeah, those are the two grills. Let's get this one fired up. Let's get the pork chops seasoned, and we will crank this bad boy up. So that's your control panel. You just plug it in, and this thing gets pretty dang hot, but I don't think it's going to get as hot as that Jealous Devil charcoal in the Weber. All right, before we go any further, I want to stop and say thank you to Bear Smoke Barbecue. I am an ambassador for Bear Smoke, and they do send me these rubs to try, but not only am I ambassador, but these, I'm a fan. I love them. They're good. I don't just say that just because he sent me this stuff. His stuff is small batch, handcrafted. He makes it every time. He makes awesome rubs and sauces, and what we're using today is the Bear Smoke Bear Blend and the Sweet Honey Barbecue rub on those pork chops, and I think that'll be absolutely incredible. Also, huge shout out to my people right here, Jealous Devil Charcoal. I am an ambassador for them as well. I will put links down below. If you follow those links and you do order, you will get a discount on your order, so please go check them out. Help support those companies, help support this channel. I do get a little kickback from those orders, so I greatly appreciate it. But now, let's get back to cooking.
Let's get these test cuts done. What we've picked up is just some thick cut pork chops. And to keep it all fair, they are about identical in size. We just went with a super easy cut to cook and grill, and something that everyday cooking is easy to do, to really get that true comparison of which one is going to provide the better flavor. I mean, it's just a big thing. It's not just flavor. I mean, I can probably already tell you which one's going to have the better flavor, in my opinion, but we're trying to keep it fair and not bash one or the other. So we're just going to put a light dusting of the Sweet Honey, because this is more sugar-based. As opposed to this one. This is my favorite Bear Blend. It's kind of just like a salt and pepper. So we're gonna put that one on first. Let's see, I need to adjust you guys. There we go. And if you hear what sounds like rain in the background, that was my wife making homemade Chick-fil-A style chicken nuggets. because we're Chick-fil-A fiends. My daughter is a Chick-fil-A fiend, and it's the Lord's chicken. So let's get back to this. Season this. Light coating of this again because it is sugar-based. I say sugar-based. It's got a lot of sugar. I think it has granulated honey in it as well. So try to get an even coating. Very similar. Again, we're trying to keep these identical as far as how... Whoop, a little too much there. Oh well, it'll be all right. And then we're going to be putting this Bear Blend on. You can see those nice big chunks of the Himalayan salt. All right, there we go. Just kind of pat this in. Again, you're not rubbing it in, even though it's called a rub. You're not rubbing it in, just kind of patting it in and get it to stick. And we're gonna let this sit, flip it over, do the same thing on the other side, and let it sit for about 10 to 15 minutes before you throw it on the grill. All right, we are outside. We're gonna get these things fired up. I'm gonna show you how I get both of the Traeger Ranger, how that gets fired up, and how the Weber gets fired up with this Luftleiter superheated air gun, basically. And thankfully, the GoPro is waterproof because it is raining out here. Not too bad, but it is extremely humid. All right, so the sequence for this, super easy. We're gonna pick our temperature. We're gonna get it as hot as we can get it, which it says, I think it's 450, but then I've had this thing up to like 480, and then hit ignite, and she's ready to rock and roll. That's what the inside looks like. The pellets go in there. I don't know what those pellets are, and then here in just a second, it may get harder to hear me because of this Luftleiter right here. Literally just take the Luftleiter or whatever you have to light it. I prefer the Luftleiter. I don't like lighter fluid. I don't use those other fire starters. This is just much easier, more efficient way to start your charcoal. And I probably did do this backwards. I probably should have started the charcoal first and then the Traeger, because this is gonna take a little bit longer. This heats up in about 60 seconds. Or I say heats up, it gets the coals lit in about 60 seconds. Let me see if I can zoom in on this thing for you guys. No, it won't let me zoom in video. I don't even know, I am filming in 4K, so it may not let me zoom in. I'll just stand awkwardly. See, look, it already is turning white. It's already starting to get hot. I think this Luftleiter gets up to like 1300 degrees, but I'll put a link to the Luftleiter in the description down below. Kind of curious to see is which one's gonna start getting hot quicker. So far, this Luftleiter is now, that Traeger doesn't, to be fair, doesn't, I don't think that heating element in there gets up to 1300 degrees. Yeah, as you guys can see, it's already starting to get fired up here. The coals are turning red hot. So this thing sounds like a hair dryer. The heating element heats up and this thing is blowing this air out at a constant speed. There's no settings on this. It's either full blast or nothing. And I'll see if I can show you guys here in just a second that it has the coals all the way down on the bottom of the charcoal pile lit up. There goes the Traeger. I don't know if you can see that smoke. So to get them both good and going, it's taken about the same time. It's pretty interesting. But there is the Luftleiter charcoal, Jealous Devil charcoal, and we got the Ranger fired up. So that thing's rolling smoke now, so that'll be lit and increasing in temperature. This is kind of the normal startup process on the Traegers. Is those pellets drop in there, you have that heating element that's running underneath there. Those pellets drop in there, the heat up starts smoldering, the fan in here starts blowing. Once that fan gets going and those pellets get lit and have a good quote-unquote coal base, that's when it just starts dumping pellets continuously, and that fan stays blowing and it just gets ripping hot as well. Let's go ahead and close this, let this get heated up, and we're gonna put the lid on or actually we're going to leave that open for a little bit, and we're going to throw the grill grate back on the Weber. Also, it'll be interesting to see how long it takes. So startup, this was quicker, but I'll be interested to see how long it takes. These coals are not ready yet to grill on. See how long it takes these coals to get ready to cook on versus this, to see how long this takes to get ready to cook on. It's at 120, if you guys can see that, 130 degrees and climbing. 135. Just want to see it's climbing now. I think this one is going to beat the Weber as far as getting grill ready in the time to get going.
So I know I didn't show a timer before, but this thing is up to 468. It was at 472. It's been about 10 minutes from the time that this got going and the time that the Weber got going, and that charcoal is ready too. You know, I could let it spread out a little bit farther. So about the timing has been about the same for it to get up to temperature. It's been about 10 minutes. As you guys can see, that thing's hot. This thing is white hot. Even the grates are turning white above it. So we are going to throw these pork chops on in just a second. Here we are. We got the pork chops ready to go. And all right, we're doing a little smell test here. Yeah, it's that charcoal smell is so recognizable. Even though these have pellets in them and they're either hickory or something like that, you just don't get that smell, in my opinion, out of those pellets. In my experience, I've been cooking on the pellet grills for a while now. You've got to use those fruit blends to get that more flavorful smoke, in my opinion. Again, all this is based off of my opinion. I know people are going to have stuff to say in the comment section. That's fine. Let's talk about it. But yeah, everything is fired up, ready to go. Let's go ahead. We're going to try to keep everything as fair as possible. So we got that lid open, and we're going to take the lid off of the Weber. The charcoal's ready. This is ready. This is piping hot. And I think we're going to do like 3.5 minutes. Let's start with 3 minutes on each side. So let's get a timer going. Not 50 minutes. Let's do 3 minutes. Set that down. Got some good sizzle action there. Now, which one's going to get the better sizzle action? I think it's going to be this one. Okay, about the same, and I set it directly over those coals. That's definitely hotter. But let's go ahead and start this timer. See, started, I'm not lying. And we're gonna cover these both back up. Again, keeping everything as close to similar as possible. So we will see y'all in just a few minutes. All right, our timer has gone off. We got that one. That's what it's looking like after 3 minutes. That's what that one's looking like after 3 minutes. Those are more indentions, not really grill marks. That one's at 94. Let's see what this one looks like. Yeah, look at that. So, look so far. Definitely on the charcoal grill, it looks better. Maybe we'll get fancy here and do the 45 degrees. The 45 degrees like that. And this one, we'll just leave it sitting there for a little bit longer. I guess we'll turn it to be fair. We'll cover this one back up. And we'll just do another minute on that timer. And we'll be back. All right, it has been 1 minute. Let's see how this one's looking. Those are more of indentions. Again, those aren't really grill marks.
But let's go ahead and set this one on the other side. Flip it. See, I think it's running at like 100 and something. Let's check the Weber Kettle one. At this angle, have to turn you guys down. Look at that char, beautiful. So set this one back down, and we'll let these go for about another 3 minutes on both of them. All right, our second 3 minutes is up. Again, these are indentions, not really grill marks. And let's see what we're at. We're looking for a target temperature of about 142 degrees. So that way when we pull it off and they rest, they'll finish off at about 145. So it's at 120. This one's at 120. So that one's got a few more minutes. Oh, forgot to turn my timer off. And then let's check the Weber Kettle one. Yeah, we're getting some grill marks on there. I'm gonna guess this one's probably close to being done. Yeah, let's go ahead and pull this one off. So we're gonna have to wait for the Traeger one to finish. So we're gonna pull this one off. It looks fantastic. And we're gonna let this rest while the Traeger pork chop is finishing. So the grilled over charcoal pork chop is inside resting. This one is, Traeger one is done. So we're gonna get this inside and let this one rest as well. And I'll show you how to, actually let's go over this real quick. So to shut down the Weber, there's that handle there. Those inside vents are now closed. And then be careful with this vent. Close that one. That will shut it down, and that charcoal will lose the oxygen and it'll cool down pretty fast, and I'll actually be able to get another cook out of that. For the Traeger, come over here. I think it's this button. Yep, press that button, turns it off. So that thing will start to cool down. Get this inside, let it rest, and close the lid. So the wife is gonna cut these up for me. Yeah, because I can definitely tell by looking at these. So she's gonna cut these up. It's very, watch out, your juices. Juice, the myoglobin, if you watched the last video, myoglobin. So, America, let's, we're gonna fold this over so you guys don't think I'm cheating. Put this right over the eyes. Yeah, I can't see a thing. Okay, I don't even know if I'm looking at the camera. Blindfolded. True taste test here. Let's see if I can taste which one is going to be which. And she swapped them around. I don't know how she's bringing it back to me. All right. I just have to stab around until I can feel meat. All right, there's one piece. Sorry if you guys can hear me chewing. I don't like chewing on camera. It's weird sounding. It's good. It's nice and tender. Still has really good flavor. I gotta feel around and find this other one. Is it just one piece, babe?
No, there's two little like bite-sized pieces down closer to you.
Of the one on the left?
Yeah.
One of those was way juicier than the other one, and I pulled them off at about the same temperature. Still, both of them were still very tender. I think I know. This is gonna be really embarrassing if I don't. But I'm gonna say the one on the right was the grilled one and the one on the left was the Traeger. Let's see. Yep. So we got that right. You can definitely taste the difference. That was pretty crazy though. Both extremely tender and both very juicy. I'm actually gonna eat another piece. And the flavors is completely different. So the one on the Traeger, you get a lot more of the seasoning flavor. The one on the Weber, you get the seasoning, but you also get that char flavor.
So I don't. They both have. They're good and bad. The Traeger, I would say, was definitely the juicier one out of the two. Tenderness level, they're about the same. So it's really just that preferred. Oh, this thing is choking me. It's really that preferred flavor that you guys want. Do you want that wood charred flavor, or do you want more of the meat and seasoning flavor? It's really up to you. I don't think there's a right or wrong way to cook it. It's personal preference. I like them both. I would eat both of these. These are both really good. But now let's talk about the grills themselves. So one of the pros to the Traeger is the ease of setup and the ease of use, right? So if you're home, you just get off of work, you don't want to fool with anything else except for maybe dumping some pellets in there. You go out there, turn it on, fire it up, and you're ready to go. The charcoal one, depending on what method you use to light your charcoal, it's going to take a little bit longer. Your hands are going to get dirty. That's no big deal. It is what it is. That's why I prefer the Loof lighter. It's a really efficient way to get charcoal started and not have to worry about lighter fluid, or if you're out of starters, you're always going to have it. You're never, you make that $80 investment now, and then you don't have to go back to the store over and over and over or to get the lighter fluid or the fire starters. Yeah, it's just a whole lot easier to do. So there's good and bad to both. I enjoy both of them. Again, this is not a bash video. It's just comparing the two and what they're like. So to me, I like that charred flavor more. So for me, I'm going to tend to cook on that Weber, and because I have an efficient way to light it, we saw in an earlier part of the video that it's not a whole lot much of a time difference in getting up to temperature. It's really not that big of a deal. Another thing let's talk about the tenderness is about the same, but the Traeger pork chop was definitely juicier than the charcoal one. And I don't know, I could be completely wrong. If you know the science behind this or read it, I just haven't looked it up. But I think the charcoal one, because it's burning much hotter, that it's evaporating those juices and cooking those juices out quicker. So I think next time I probably should have pulled the one on the charcoal sooner at right at 140, maybe 139, and let that climb up. Where the Traeger one, you do get that grill, and yes, I know you guys are thinking, well, that's just an easy bake oven. Well, with the lids both on, that's what you're kind of doing. You're grilling, and then with that lid closed, both of them have basically become ovens, because that dome on the Weber causes that heat that's coming up from the bottom to move around, very similar to a convection oven. The same thing on the Traeger. That fan in there is pushing that air around just like a convection oven. But I think because the Traeger doesn't get as hot as the Weber and that charcoal, it kind of retains that juice a little bit better than the Weber. Really, we don't have a conclusion which one is better than the other. It's personal preference. They're both good, but to me, if I had to pick a winner, it's going to be the charcoal. I think it's just another added flavor to whatever you're cooking, along with that seasoning and the cut of meat that it is. There we have it. There's a comparison between the Traeger and the Weber Kettle. I hope you guys enjoyed. Hit that subscribe button, hit that like, leave a comment. Let's talk about this. I'm not one of those ones opposed to talking about and discussing grilling and barbecuing. And, some people are going to be like, well, the Traeger one, whatever it is, what it is. I've been cooking on Traegers for years. I cooked on charcoal before that, and I'm back to charcoal again. So yeah, let's talk about it. Thank you again to Bear Smoke Barbecue and Jealous Devil, and we'll see you next time.